norm in world history. And so we are at a real risk of that if we don't correct some of the degradations in our own regime.
So what would that mean? What degradations need to be corrected in order to forestall revolution?
Well, here's one. The 17th Amendment.
I do feel like this country's much more volatile than people publicly acknowledge.
Oh, yeah. The 17th Amendment creates direct election of senators. Today, we say, what would be wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with more democracy. Isn't that good?
Have you met the senators?
I've met a lot of senators.
It's the densest collection of douchebags and liars and sex freaks I've ever met in my life. I mean it.
And just wait till you go to the House.
I worked in television. I feel like there are more normal House members, but the Senate, I mean, there are some exceptions who guys I like and a lot, but only a handful.
I like that price. Listen, some of my best friends are senators, but a lot of them.
I was just I'm friends with a couple of them, and I say, well, these guys are freaks, man. They're all freaks. Like John Cornyn, what's his search history? No, I'm serious.
I actually don't know John Cornyn. But
if you had a hold of that guy's iPhone, like what would you find? Any of these people, Ted Cruz?
I love Ted.
Oh my God.
He's a good friend of mine. He is.
Okay, but I get, but I'm just saying, I'll leave Ted out. I'm not going to attack Ted. I've always liked his wife, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not working.
It's not. And think about how these guys got elected. These guys, it used to be they would be elected by the states, which meant that the states had a role in the government. You know, we're supposed to have states.
Yeah.
We don't really have states.
No, we certainly don't.
They're kind of all vassals for this imperial blob of bureaucracy. But why did we lose that? Antonin Scalia said this to me when I was a student. I got to meet him a couple times, undergrad. And he said, we asked him about states' rights. He said, why are you asking me about states' rights? I'm a Fed. What do I care about states' rights? You got rid of your states' rights in the progressive amendments when you had the direct election of senators. States' rights are done.
And the civil rights movement killed it.
Civil rights movement killed it. The implementation of this. I mean, every government office has a civil rights division now. It's like Christopher Caldwell, an excellent guest on your show.
Wonderful.
And a great writer.
Wonderful guy.
His book, Age of Entitlement, basically proves this thesis that there's a parallel constitution, which is in tension with the old constitution. So you do have a crisis of regime that's coming up. And
how does that play out?
I hope peacefully. I really hope. I think it can play out peacefully. You know, some people on the right, they'll say, I want a civil war. You heard this a lot during BLM and COVID. So I want a civil war. On the left and the right, they say, I don't want a civil war. If there's a civil war, I'm going to have to shoot my cousins. Do you know what you're saying? I want a civil war. Do you know what a civil war is like? So, Dante is one of my favorite writers. Civil war ruined his life. He said it's like the worst thing that can happen because the whole point of a political community is to secure peace and order for the common good so that we can flourish. And when you crack that, I mean, the whole political community is just an extension of a family. It's
the Spanish Civil War ended 85 years ago. And you go to Spain now, they're still mad about it. Mm-hmm. It still divides that country.
Yes.
Greece, same way.
Isn't that so weird? We have to be angry that the communists were defeated. The Bolsheviks who were killing priests and raping nuns.
Spain is a uniquely sad country. It's a wonderful country and wonderful people, but oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was demonic, obviously.
Obviously.
They began by shooting a statue of Jesus, so that was kind of a sign. But and every evil person in the United States joined. And
yes, what is the Abraham Lincoln Brigade?
Abraham Lincoln Brigades. Exactly.
I remember when I was a kid, I heard that some guy died. He was in the Abraham Lincoln. I said, it's the Abraham Lincoln Brigade. I looked into it. I said, he was a communist.
It was Stalinist.
Yes.
It was Stalinist, like the entire American left was Stalinist.
This is why, talk about the changes in the 60s into the 70s. This is why they had to get Nixon. They never forgave Richard Nixon because he got Alger Hiss. Richard Nixon knew that there were actual communists in the government at the highest levels of the State Department helping to found the United Nations. And he knew it, and he got him dead. And he believed Whittaker Chambers, and he got him dead to rights. They never forgave him for it.
That's totally true. And they made up this whole fake scandal and took out the most popular president in American history.
Yes.
No, I know. It's very But anyway, I guess the point is a civil war has... our own civil war, it's only finally kind of cooling down.
And we're relitigating it.
Well, because Reconstruction never really ended.
Right.
So let's just humiliate the South and turn its cities into slums, which we've done. So it's all, we don't want a civil war.
We don't want a civil war.
So how do we avoid that?
Well, I think we need strong leadership, which we are getting in Trump. We actually do have an executive on the right who's willing to do things. This has been a big problem for the right because of ideologies that were essentially liberal, where the right said, you need to elect us so that we do nothing. That was their explicit pitch. If you elect me, I won't do anything because I want to principally, with great dignity and integrity and principles, give away all the power. Because if I ever do anything, then the minute the Democrats come into office, they might do all the things they've been doing for 50 years. So we can't have that.
It was National Review Republicanism. Yeah. I was there for that.
I mean, Buckley at least, Buckley defended McCarthy, for goodness sakes.
He did. He absolutely did.
This is...
Then he turned on him, but yeah.
At a certain point, it was politically incorrect.
Yeah,
too. But you think of those early days, Brent Bozell, who Ghost wrote Conscience of a Conservative, an amazing book.
Well, Brent Bozell meant it. Right. So he was exiled.
Yeah.
Because he really meant it. He was mentally ill. Okay.
And he went over after the Spanish Civil War.
I know.
Of course.
Raised his family in Franco's Spain.
Yeah.
No, I know. He meant it.
But that, look, there's always been this hodgepodge on the right of disparate groups, as you well know, that don't totally make sense together. And so you have the traditional conservatives. Well, the fusionist coalition was the traditional conservatives and the libertarians and some warhawk Democrats who wanted to take down the Soviet Union.
Yes.
And I think it made sense at the time. Common enemy in the Soviet Union.
I was there for that.
Of course. And I
read commentary every month growing up. We got it at home. Yes, we did.
You don't have any copies around here anymore. I don't know where.
I was raised on commentary. I mean, we're like this Protestant family getting the official publication of the American Jewish Committee. I read every issue. Arch Puddington, Ruth Vissa, or whatever. I think they all hate me now, but whatever. I grew up reading that.
One of my favorite lines recently was from Norman Podhoretz, who said, "You're the founder of neoconservatism." He said, "No. I'm so old that I'm now a paleo neoconservative. I'm too old for that." And this is, there's the paleos and the neos and the libertarians and the traditionalists and the this and the, obscure political monikers are the right-wing version of gender pronouns.
No, it's totally
Everyone's got his own thing. And this is what I love about Trump. Is Trump an ideologue?
No.
What kind of ism does Trump ascribe to?
Trumpism.
Trump, that's what he ascribes to. Americanism, I guess. I don't know. This is a man who's brought together a disparate coalition of weirdo crunchy hippies and bow tie wearing traditionalists and libertarians and Silicon Valley tech futurists. And it's the craziest coalition ever.
Yes.
And he has brought them together and won the popular vote for the first time in 20 years as a Republican.